Some time back, we started a series of devotions on the book of Jeremiah, and we broke off so I could do something talking about total wellness. Well, we're going to pick Jeremiah back up again, starting in chapter 30. And I'm going to read to you today from Jeremiah 30, verses 8 and 9. And it shall come to pass in that day, declares the Lord of hosts, that I will break his yoke from off your neck, and I will burst your bonds, and foreigners shall no more make a servant of him. But they shall serve the Lord their God, and David their king, whom I will raise up for them. At the time that Jeremiah wrote this verse, Israel had been defeated and subjected to Babylon. We know that following Babylon, Israel came under Persian dominance, and 70 years after their exile into Babylon, the Persians permitted the Israelites to return to Jerusalem and rebuild the land and the temple. Yet the nation remained under Persian dominance. In time, the Greeks defeated Persia, and Israel came under their dominance. And while there was a brief period of Israeli independence following the Maccabean revolt, eventually the nation came under the control of the Roman Empire. Later, in 70 AD, Rome destroyed Jerusalem, the temple, and the Jews were dispersed again. The nation of Israel remained a dispersed group of people until May 14, 1948, when the United Nations Partition Plan of 1947 separated the area into two states, one Arab and the other Jewish, with Jerusalem as an international city in its center. Now, while the Jews accepted the plan, the Arabs never did, and thus there has remained contention between Israel and the Arab nations ever since. Well, when you read the prophecy given to Jeremiah from the Lord, we see some key elements. It says the yoke of their oppressors will be broken. They would no longer be under the oppression of any foreign nation. Moreover, they would be a nation gathered together once again. Now, one might say that this was fulfilled when the nation was reestablished in 1948. Yet there are some things that are yet to occur for Israel. One is the complete fulfillment of the land promised. Jeremiah chapter 30, verse 11, we see, "For I am with you to save you, declares the Lord. I will make a full end of all the nations among whom I scattered you. But of you I will not make a full end. I will discipline you in just measure, and I will by no means leave you unpunished." On October 7th, 2023, Hamas executed an attack against Israel. The attack took the lives of at least 1,219 people and led to the taking of 251 hostages. Now, this act of war was not perpetrated on the Israeli Defense Force, but on the people of Israel, making this a heinous act of aggression against the people. And throughout their history, the history of Israel, Israel has been under attack or the threat of attack from the foreign nations. Yet there is a promise for Israel, a guarantee of a future. Let me read to you from verse 17 of Jeremiah chapter 30. He writes, "For I will restore health to you, and your wounds I will heal, declares the Lord, because they have called you an outcast. It is Zion for whom no one cares." There is a day to come when the nation of Israel will experience the blessing of peace. There will be a time when their enemies are completely destroyed and they will be oppressed no more. There's a day when they shall have the promise of the land completely and perfectly fulfilled. A day when they as a nation will finally come to recognize Jesus as their Messiah, and he shall reign on earth for 1,000 years.